everyone. Welcome to Alpha English Podcast, the place where learning English becomes simple, fun, and powerful.
If you want to speak English with confidence, understand real conversations, and improve faster than ever, you're in the right place.
Every episode, we break down English in the easiest way possible.
So get ready to learn, grow, and level up your English.
Let's start the episode. Okay, so I was at the coffee shop this morning and the barista messed up my order again, and I just went, oh well, it is what it is.
Wait, hold on. Say that again.
Say what again?
It is what it is? You just said it so naturally, like you weren't even thinking about the words.
Oh my gosh, I didn't even notice I said that.
Exactly. You didn't translate it. You didn't build it word by word in your head. It just came out. And that is exactly what we're talking about today.
So today, we are talking about how to use everyday English without translating in your head first.
And honestly, this might be the single biggest thing that separates someone who knows English from someone who actually speaks English.
Right, because you can know 1,000 words and still freeze up in a real conversation if your brain is stuck translating.
And before we get into it, if this is your first time with us, hit that subscribe button. It really helps the show. And let's get into it.
So, Luke, let's start with the problem. What actually happens in someone's brain when they translate?
Okay, so picture this. Someone wants to say, I'm hungry, but instead of just saying it, their brain goes, okay, hungry in my language is this word, so I have hunger. And they say something a little off, or it takes them 3 extra seconds.
And those 3 seconds matter, right? Because real conversation doesn't wait for you.
Exactly. Conversation moves fast. If you're translating, you're always 1 step behind.
Curious, so what's the fix? Just stop translating? That sounds impossible.
I wish it was that simple. Now, the fix is building what we call direct thinking, connecting the English word straight to the idea or the picture or the feeling without your first language in the middle.
Okay, let's give people something practical. Tip number 1?
Tip 1, learn phrases, not single words. Don't learn hungry alone. Learn I'm starving, I could eat a horse, I haven't eaten all day. Whole chunks.
Yes, because when you learn a whole phrase, there's nothing to translate piece by piece. It's just one unit in your brain.
Exactly. So, quick summary. Instead of memorizing single words, memorize small, natural chunks of language. That's tip 1.
Tip 2?
Tip 2, think in pictures, not words. If you want to say, it's raining cats and dogs, don't translate cats and dogs, just picture heavy rain. Connect English straight to the image.
That's such a good one. I actually do this without realizing. When I hear raining cats and dogs, I just see rain, lots of it. I don't think about actual cats.
Right. Nobody's picturing cats falling from the sky.
Quick summary. Connect the English expression directly to a feeling or a picture in your mind. Skip the translation step completely.
Can I share something a little embarrassing?
Please do.
I actually said this wrong to a student once. I told them to get out the bus. They looked at me like I had lost my mind.
Get out the bus?
I meant get off the bus, obviously, but my brain just glitched, and I'm the teacher.
See, that's actually comforting, though. Even native speakers slip. It's not about perfection, it's about communication. You know, I think about learners who pause this episode, rewind it, and listen again just to catch one small phrase they almost understood. That's not weakness. That's exactly how language enters your brain. Slowly, in small, honest pieces, not all at once.
Yeah, nobody gets fluent by being perfect. They get fluent by staying in the room.
Okay, tip 3?
Tip 3, use filler phrases to buy time instead of translating. Things like, well, let me think. How do I put this? Actually, these give your brain a second to catch up without freezing.
Oh, that's so useful because silence feels scary, but a filler phrase feels natural.
Exactly. So summary, when your brain needs a second, don't go silent, use a small natural filler instead. It buys you time and keeps the conversation flowing.
What about formal versus casual? Does that change how we should think in English?
Great question. In casual conversation, English is full of shortcuts like gonna, wanna, I don't know. In formal English, it's cleaner. I am going to, I want to, I don't know.
So if you're translating, you probably default to the formal version because that's what textbooks teach.
Right, but real daily conversation is mostly casual. So tip 4, practice listening to casual, natural speech, not just textbook English, so your brain gets used to the shortcuts too.
Can we talk about a cultural side of this too?
Sure, go for it.
In a lot of cultures, saying no directly feels too harsh. So people translate their politeness style into English, and it can come out sounding stiff, like, I do not think this is possible.
Whereas a natural English speaker might just say, that might be tricky, or let's see what we can do.
Exactly. So it's not just about words, it's about matching the natural softness of the culture too.
Great summary. Don't just translate your politeness, learn the English way of softening things.
Tip 5, and I think this is a big one, talk to yourself in English.
Oh, the talking to yourself tip. People think it's weird, but it's actually one of the most powerful ones.
Right, when you're making coffee or walking, just narrate it in your head. Okay, I'm putting the kettle on. This is taking forever. Small stuff.
Because that forces your brain to generate English directly from the situation, not from translation.
Exactly. Quick summary, narrate small daily moments in English out loud or in your head, and your brain builds that direct connection naturally.
Can I be honest about something again?
You're on a roll today.
I still catch myself translating sometimes, especially with numbers. Like someone asks me a price in a different context, and for a split second, my brain just blanks.
Oh my gosh, numbers are the worst. I think almost everyone struggles with numbers longer than anything else.
Right. So if that's you listening right now, you are not behind. Numbers are just genuinely hard for every brain in every language.
And I want to say something here because I know some of you get really frustrated with yourselves.
Go for it.
When you're the person who plans out a whole sentence in your head before saying it, and by the time you're ready to speak, the conversation has already moved on, I see you. That's not a flaw in your intelligence. That's just your brain being careful in a new language. And careful brains learn to speak fast. It just takes a little more patience with yourself.
Yeah, patience over perfection every single time.
Okay, one more tip before we wrap up the teaching part. Tip 6. React first before you respond.
Meaning?
Meaning, before you build your full sentence, just react naturally first. Oh, wow. Really? No way. That makes sense. These little reactions buy you time and they sound completely natural.
And they're impossible to translate anyway, so you're forced to just say them directly.
Exactly. Summary, react first with a short, natural phrase, then build your full response. It keeps the conversation alive and takes pressure off you.
So let's bring this together. If someone's listening and thinking, okay, this all makes sense, but how do I actually start? What do we tell them?
I'd say pick one tip from today, just one. Maybe it's narrating your morning in English, or maybe it's using fillers like well and let's see. Don't try all 6 at once.
Right. Small and consistent beats big and overwhelming every time.
All right, let's do a quick recap of everything we covered today.
1. Learn phrases, not single words.
2. Connect English directly to pictures and feelings, not translations.
3. Use filler phrases to buy yourself time instead of freezing.
4. Listen to casual, natural speech, not just textbook formal English.
5. Talk to yourself in English during small daily moments.
And 6. React first with a short, natural phrase, then respond fully.
And honestly, the goal isn't to never translate again overnight. It's to slowly build a second home in your mind, one that speaks English directly without needing to travel through your first language first.
And to everyone listening who feels like they're not there yet, I want you to think of it like learning to swim. At first, you cling to the edge of the pool and it feels like you'll never let go. But one day, without even noticing the exact moment, your hands aren't on the edge anymore. That's what's happening in your brain right now, even if you can't feel it yet.
That's beautifully put.
Thank you.
All right, that's our episode for today. If this helped you even a little, hit subscribe, share it with a friend who's learning English too, and we'll see you in the next one.
Take care of yourselves, keep practicing, and remember, you don't have to be perfect. You just have to keep going.
See you next time.
Bye, everyone.